This is Aussie Mac Zone. We'll cover everything Apple, including Macs, iPhones, iPads, and more. All this from an Aussie perspective. Sit back, relax, and insert yourself into the zone. The Aussie Mac Zone.
Young Zarn, how are you, sir?
Fantastic, Michael. And you?
Very, very good, thank you.
Excellent.
So,
yes.
Episode 380. Wow, 380. It's a stunning number, isn't it?
It is. Sorry about that.
So stunning, it gave you a heart attack.
It did.
Now you have to
So,
stop your family being on the internet.
yeah. I've got nothing on. I've turned everything off. It's just me.
Okay. Stop there a minute ago.
Yeah, hang on 2 seconds. Yep,
Mute.
One.
Just while he's yelling at his family. Hello, everybody. Show 380, Aussie Mac Zone. And now our Aussie ramblings this week, we start with a very important message. Sorry, I've got to go into here to get it. Now that we go, it's better. Now I know what I was doing wrong.
There we go.
Okay, so story number 1.
Yes.
Apple devices under attack. Update your Mac, your iPhone, your iPad, and your Apple Watch now. Exploited flaws threaten most of Apple's most recent devices.
Yeah.
Tom's Guide reports Apple on Monday, May the 3rd, pushed out emergency patches to macOS, iPadOS, watchOS, and 2 different versions of iOS to fix 4 flaws in WebKit, the rendering engine that underlies the Safari web browser. Macs are pushed up to macOS Big Sur 11.3.1. Apple Watch goes to watchOS 7.4.1. Newer iPhones and iPads get iPad or iOS 14.5.1, while older phones and iPads going back to the 2013 5S Air and iPad Mini 2 get iOS 12.5.3. Install these updates when you receive them, because for each flaw, the company states that Apple is aware of a report that this issue may have been actively exploited. In each case, Apple says processing maliciously crafted web content may lead to arbitrary code execution. In plain English, that means web pages could be built to remotely hack your Mac, your iPhone, your iPad, or your Apple Watch. 3 of the 4 flaws had to do with improper handling of running memory, and the 4th vulnerability is described only as an integer overflow. So please go in. So, for example, on your phone, you go into Settings, General Software Update, I think, or Settings Software Update, depending on what version you've got, and we go from there. On your Mac, you just go to the Apple menu about this Mac, and there's a check for updates button there. So please, as soon as you can, again, stop the show. Like we talked about, stop the show, go and do the patches, then come back.
That's it. Easiest way to remember. Just do it straight away.
Yep. So Apple normally doesn't give much in the way of details about security flaws until well after most users have installed the fixes. Please go and install the fixes. There's a little bit more on Tom's Guide, which the link is in the show notes, of course.
I blame the Empire.
It's striking back, is it?
It is. And we had to wait to may the Force be with you.
Yes. something about a Millennial Falcon I saw too.
Yeah. 12 parsecs and all that sort of stuff. So 10,000 apps have already enabled app tracking. Transparency of most of them are games. On the 5 Mac reports, according to the analyst firm, about 10,000 apps available in App Store have already been updated with support for the new app tracking transparency option introduced with iOS 14.5. What is more interesting, however, is that the fact that most of the apps already updated with ATT support are games by big, what's that? Margin? Yeah, anyway.
Yeah.
Among the apps that have now included the new app tracking transparency API, more than 20% of them are games. The utility category comes in second, but much further away from the game category, with only 6% at the same time.
Yeah.
This does not mean that users are enabling tracking for these apps. Figures believe that slightly more than half of the users prompted about app tracking transparency will keep sorry, go away. I don't know why it's not on silence. Transparency will keep the option off for most apps, which may indeed affect the business model of some companies that are primarily based on advertisements. The reports show that while some developers do not properly explain how the data will be used, if the user chooses to be tracked, there are also some apps that are falsely trying to convince users to click to the allow button. Thanks for being a fan of our app. To keep supporting us, please click allow on the next step so we can bring you personalized advertising. Says that message in a game practices like this are not allowed according to App Store guidelines. App Store guidelines, but still, there are some developers breaking the rules.
Yeah,
Since
a few.
yeah, there's a few. Yeah, since the feature was introduced, companies such as Facebook and Alibaba,
Yeah.
have expressed concern about the app tracking transparency option. These companies have been thinking of ways to preserve their revenue as users are gradually updating to iOS 14.5. However, it seems that there's not much that can be done. More in the show notes.
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll talk about Facebook again in just a little while.
Yeah.
But basically, the dialogue box that comes up and says allow or disallow, you're allowed to put in there a little explanation about what you're doing.
Yeah.
Not, we'll talk about it later, but that's basically, it's just a little information thing. It's not a, so.
Sorry, when I'm sneezing so much, I don't know what it's a hay fever or something, so I apologize if I mute and turn away from camera. The iPhone holder that I fixed, you're not using that yet? I am.
Yeah, I'm just wondering why it's so far away from you. That's all.
It's not. I just turn here because it's right next to me.
Yeah.
And so I've got to read it like that.
Yeah, you can't set it up so it's in front of you.
I can't because I'm sitting at my dining table and it's attached to the back of a chair. And so I've sort of got the chair turned. I can show you. Just bring this into view. There. That noise is me dragging a chair across the floor.
That's all right. That's all right. Just side of your face is nowhere near as handsome as the front. That's all.
I know. I'm sorry. If we can get back into a single studio soon, it'll be great.
Yes. Yeah. So now the Clips app from Apple, which I've done a couple of things with it and etc. But Clips adds immersive new AR spaces. Now, the Clips version 3.1 lets users scan a space using the LiDAR scanner on the 12 Pro or iPad Pro models to apply fun, engaging video effects that transform their world. Clips, Apple's easy-to-use video creation app for iPhone and iPad, gives users even more fun options to record captivating videos, with all new AR spaces powered by LiDAR on the iPhone 12 Pro and iPad Pro. Creators can transform a space by adding immersive visual effects that map to the contours of the room and can be easily shared with anyone. AR spaces in the Clips app leverage Apple's unique combination of hardware and software, offering another inventive way for users to engage with and delight friends and family, or share playful, eye-catching videos on social media. Clips is also expanding creative options with monthly content releases containing new filters, stickers, and more. Now, you can transform a room with new AR spaces. First introduced with the iPad Pro last year, the state-of-the-art LiDAR scanner on select iPhone and iPad models enables cutting-edge depth sensing never before possible on a mobile device. This breakthrough technology measures light, distance, and uses pixel depth information of a scene to deliver faster and more realistic augmented reality experiences. Combined with tight integration of Apple's hardware and software, Clips 3.1 now enables users to record amazing videos with magical effects that map to the shape of the room and the objects within. With AR spaces in 3.1, users can easily scan a room and see a live preview of effects that bring dynamic lighting, falling objects, and immersive scenes to life. Using the rear camera on the supported iPhone and iPad, two users will see effects appear on walls, floors, surfaces, furniture, and objects. AR Spaces comes to life using LiDAR scanner, offering 7 effects including prism, confetti, disco, dance floor, sparkles, stardust, and hearts. And as we said, there's 7 new spaces. Prism is ribbons of rainbow light. Confetti is celebratory bursts of confetti fall and accumulate on flat surfaces. Disco is shining lights reflect off the disco ball that hangs from the ceiling of the space. You got dance floor. Pardon me a minute. Colourful tiles of light dance in patterns across the floor. And I wonder if you can do your dancing competitions with that. Or sparkles, golden sparkle emoji and white glitter fill the space. And stardust, magic trails of starlight encircle and follow a person in the video. And hearts, a floating heart balloon bubbles up within the space. So yeah. And more every month, which means they're obviously getting into it. Hello, he's gone. So monthly content releases. And now we're back to gaming.
We are. Sorry about that. I was, while you're doing that, I've fixed our
you have
camera
You've
problem.
Done great.
So there we go.
And we're much better for it, I must say.
We are. So we're at gaming.
Yeah.
And excellent. Sorry.
Now three.
Hi. Just before we go through,
yeah,
into gaming and this sort of stuff, I just want to say hello to our biggest fans. So hello Levi, hello Mason, and hello Hunter. Hi, how are you? I can hear you up the hall saying hi, Pa, and hi, Daddy.
Hello, my fans. It's great to talk to you. We'll just put your name on here for the world to see.
Excellent. So, All right, so I'm going to go into gaming
Yeah.
now.
Is this out of the one of the ones they've just reintroduced? Like, Threes has been around for a while, so I think it's one of the ones they've sort of brought back in and re-promoted. I think
that's right. Yeah, they are. They're re-promoting it, so it's a classic game.
Yep.
And they've just introduced it to Apple Arcade.
Yeah.
And so the couple of the other cool classic games they've brought into Apple Arcade include Fruit Ninja as well.
Yeah. Chop.
Yeah, that's right. And but look, I like this game. It really it's a great brain teaser, and I had loads of fun playing this game. So each time trying to beat my previous score, I just wanted. It's a good old fashioned numbers game, and I don't know. I love math and that sort of stuff, and trying to beat my next score, and it got me going. I couldn't put it down. So I had great fun. Yeah, I had great fun playing it. I was stoked that it was on Apple Arcade. I also played a little bit of Fruit Ninja earlier today, just for
practice
giggles. Yeah. Well, and so it was fantastic. Check it out. Like, this is a keeper for me. So I'll keep this on my phone, because this is a great little, just sort of sit down, and it gets your brain moving. See, helps it function right.
Wow.
And it gets the brain juice flowing, and sort of keeps you on your toes, and all those things that the doctors tell you that when you're getting older, and that they keep doing. I know they keep doing to keep your brain muscle working. Yeah, your thinker ticking. So it's just it's a good fun game, because you're competing. Well, there's two options, but I just compete with myself.
Yeah.
And I get in there and I try to beat my score. And today I beat my score personal best 4 times. And so I was really impressed with that.
Well done. Yeah.
And like, again, it's only versus me. That's all I want. And it just keeps your brain going. So, if it's helping you,
and as a father-in-law, your brain needs to keep going.
That's right. Yes, it does. Most of the time it's fine.
Yep.
So, I really enjoyed this game. I showed Kellyanne in the car. Don't worry, we were parked waiting for the children to finish school. It's okay, I wasn't driving. We were sitting in the car waiting for the kids to finish school. We sort of had, 10 minutes to kill before we had to get out of the car and get into the grounds of school to pick the boys up. And I was playing it, and I said, "You really got to have a go at this, have a go." She's like, "I don't know what to do." And I'm like, "That's fair enough, but it's fun. Watch me play it." And she did for about 30 seconds and got bored of that and left. But I'm going to show, there is a tutorial on there as well. So if you're like, what is this game? How do I play it? There is a tutorial on there, so you can go in and take the tutorial. It'll teach you how to do it. Pardon me. It'll teach you how to play, so you can get better scores. I've never done the tutorial. I probably should. I'd probably be better at it if I did the tutorial. But yeah, check it out. So Freeze, and again, it's a classic game. We've all played it before.
Yeah.
But now it's available in arcade.
Excellent.
So yeah. Also, we also took a look at which I had a look at before, but this time I didn't take a look at it. I let somebody else play this game.
Yeah.
If you don't mind, I could get the reviewer that has played it to tell us all about it.
Okay.
Do you mind?
That's fine.
It won't be a moment.
So, the fun of live broadcasting.
Yes, the fun of live broadcasting. So, my reviewer for the other game called Wonderbox.
You have to share your headphone.
Oh, yeah. All right, hon. Ready?
Hi,
Hey, what's your name?
Mason.
Mason. Hello, Mason.
Hi,
And
Now, what
Mason
game
played
did you play?
Wonderblock.
Wonderbox.
Wonderbook. Yeah?
Yeah.
And what did you do today in Wonderbox?
I killed some enemies.
Wow.
Excellent.
Some
And what
enemies,
did you
yeah?
what did you pick up?
I saw and a bow and arrow.
Excellent.
Bow and arrow, yeah? Yeah.
And the enemies, what were they?
I can't remember.
A matador? Was it matador?
I think
Is it the bull-like man creature? I think that's what they're called. Matador? It's something like that. Please don't touch that, mate. And so, no, it's okay. Yeah, so the game is an open world game. You can go into, like I said, I've reviewed it before. You can go into different platforms. You can make your own levels. You can build upon the game. And you can, on the way, you pick up bow and arrows, new swords. You get to fight different enemies. And it's a great game. All right, let's say goodbye and thank you.
bye-bye.
Thank you.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
So we got him to have a look at that today because he really likes Minecraft and that sort of thing. And this is a similar perspective. It's not 8-bit or anything like that. It's a much more lifelike. And you get to run around an open world, creating different scenarios, collecting different weapons, and building your own sort of stuff as well. And so, he really enjoyed it. And he got three levels up from when he first started. He played it. I think he played it for about an hour as well. I just wanted him to have a look at it because I know he's really into that sort of stuff. He's right into the Pokemon-based games on Nintendo, right into Minecraft. Hunter and him play Roblox all the time as well, which is very similar again. And so I thought by getting him to take a look at it and see if the planning and outlay are similar to these games, if they were as easy to navigate and maneuver for somebody his age. He's 6 years old, almost 7, guys, and has no front teeth, as you can see. And so, he really enjoyed the game and had lots of fun. So I thought I'd get him to talk about that, even though he's more interested in what we're doing and how it all works.
Yep.
But that's Mason's review.
Excellent.
On that.
And the game is called?
It's called Wonderbox.
Wonderbox.
Yep.
Okay.
It's a great game for everybody. I can play it. You could play it. But it's also at a level where Mason and Hunter can also play through the levels without too much difficulty, as long as they can work the buttons and have a little bit of sort of guidance there. It's a great base where it's not too violent or anything like that. When he says kill, you don't actually see any blood or anything like that. It's more just a slashing action and they dissolve. Like the old school games were. It's an enjoyable game for everybody, and I'm trying to sort of lean towards more of those games lately because my boys are getting older, and I do want them to enjoy gaming as much as I did. And so we're trying to do that, and I've found some of the better games for that are actually on arcade, where Xbox and PlayStation are going more towards the military style combat games that are more realistic and a lot more brutal
And a lot more adult.
A lot more adult. That's right. Where Arcade have that child-friendly, still sort of Mario Brother Zelda-esque feel to them.
Yeah, excellent, excellent.
Yeah.
Good report.
Excellent. Thank you. All right.
Now
that's gaming. I'm not going to give these games apples yet because I want to keep playing them. We've all played Freeze before, so we know it's a good game. Wonderbox, I want to spend more time on, and we will probably report on that again. I'll probably get Mason back in once we get more into it and see what we can build. And I might even record some of this stuff while Mason and I play. Yeah. And hopefully Michael and I are going to work it out to upload it onto our pages, our YouTube, Facebook, and wherever else we're found.
Yeah. Excellent. Yeah. So, Apple original comedy, Mr. Corman, created by, directed by, and starring Joseph Gordon-Levitt, to make global debut August 6th on Apple TV+. Mr. Corman, the highly anticipated 10-episode original comedy series, created by Emmy and SAG award winner Joseph Gordon-Levitt, who also executive produces, is set to premiere globally on Friday, August the 6th. The series will debut with the first 3 episodes, followed by a new episode every week.
Sorry, I'm muttering under my breath here.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if you know this, but I love Joseph Gordon-Levitt. I'm a member of the Hit Record. I follow a lot of his self-published work. Yeah. I love participating in Hit Record, where other artists and other writers. I'm a writer by no means. I just like to sort of jot stuff down and see what happens. And everyone's really nice. On him and his brother set this up, where you can go and put something you've written down and have people either help you write it or critique your work. I'm hopeless at punctuation and that sort of stuff, and so I put stuff down and people say, oh, the punctuation's a little bit off. I'm like, great, maybe you could help with that, and they'll go in and help. And other people are like, oh man, it's a great story, maybe we could turn this way, and you can write that sort of stuff. And and if anything ever gets, it's called Hit Record.
Okay.
Hit Record. And hang on, just let me double check that because I don't want to give you the wrong name. Where is my? Yep, there it is. Hit Record. Yep. Okay. I've got it in it's an app in my phone, so I can dictate to it as well. So if I've got an idea, I can dictate straight to it, and it'll copy it down, but won't publish it until I come back to it and see if I like what it is or if I want to add more to it. Yeah. Sorry, continue about
Mr. Corman follows the days and nights of Josh Corman, played by Gordon-Levitt, an artist at heart but not by trade. A career in music hasn't panned out, and he teaches 5th grade at public school in San Fernando Valley. His ex-fiancée Megan has moved out, and his high school buddy Victor has moved in. He knows he has a lot to be thankful for, but finds himself struggling nevertheless through anxiety, loneliness, and a sinking suspicion that he sucks as a person. Darkly funny, oddly beautiful, and deeply heartfelt, this relatable dramedy speaks of our contemporary generation of 30-somethings, rich with good intentions, poor with student loans, and yearning to become real grown-ups sometime before they die. In addition to Gordon-Levitt, Mr. Corman stars Arturo Castro, Deborah Winger, Bobby Hall, a.k.a. Logic, Alexander Joe, Juno Temple, Jamie Chung, Shannon Woodward, and Hector Hernandez. The series makes a return to TV for Gordon-Levitt, who grew up on the small screen with roles on multiple series, most notably his co-starring turn on the long-running NBC comedy Third Rock from the Sun.
And if you've never seen Third Rock from the Sun, you must have literally been under a rock, because that show was amazing.
Yeah.
It was such a great show, and you've seen him sort of grow up in that as well. He was quite a young boy, you know, and then as that sort of ended, he was in his early teens.
Yeah.
And so yeah, it was great. Even mid-teens at the end of it, and I followed him along the way. I've seen a few of the movies he's done, some of the Artia movies he's been in, and that sort of stuff. So yeah, I'm really, really looking forward to this. I think anything that he does, considering that he's written, produced, stars, and all that sort of stuff, it should be really good. I know he's passionate about his craft.
Yeah.
And I think this is his way of getting something out there that he feels passionate about as well, is by writing it, producing it, and directing it. So if no one else will pick it up, he will, sort of thing. So
yeah,
it's very, very cool. I can't wait, and relatable nonetheless. You know, of 30-something, even though I'm now in my early 40s. You know, trying to become an adult and all that sort of stuff. Because when you're a kid, you see people in their 30s and you think, oh my God, they're so adult. They've got their crap together. And it's not true. We don't.
True.
Yes.
Now,
so, yeah.
Excellent. Now, just talking about passion just for a minute, just going back to what you were talking about, you know, people being passionate about their jobs, which puts them on a different level, really.
Yeah.
So one of the ones I heard this week, there was a couple, but one of the ones I heard this week was Elon Musk.
Yes.
Right? We all know Elon, right?
You do.
Now, his passion is to set up a living environment on Mars.
Yes.
That's his lifelong goal, is to have that. That's why he's made electric vehicles, because you can't have petrol vehicles because there's no oxygen. It doesn't work.
Nope.
Right? Let alone getting the fuel there. So that's why in electric vehicles, the sun's still there, so it'll give you the power, all that sort of stuff. But and and he's got his space company and all that sort of stuff. Like, it's all
SpaceX.
Yeah, it's all to do with setting Mars up as a working planet. That's what his life goal is.
It's so cool. I really like Elon Musk. I love what he does. His cars are ridiculously expensive, but I still love them nonetheless.
The New South Wales government is talking about subsidising them.
Yep.
To reduce our need for fossil fuels, etc.
Yep.
Before they introduce a tax on the distance they travel, which that's like they're planning on 20 years down the track introducing a tax on how far you travel in a car. But anyway, and the other thing about electric vehicles is the National Drag Racing Association America is just about to have an official electric vehicle category. I read this week as well.
Yeah.
So they're coming a long way. Yep.
Yes, there's a campaign at the moment, like they're trying to say keep it pure. I was reading about keeping it all fuel based. But electrics are the way of the future. And if you've seen and watched drag races on YouTube and stuff like that with Teslas, versus blown Mustangs and stuff like that, and these guys are removing everything out of these Teslas except for the batteries and a seat. And then racing them against other people.
There's not that much more in a Tesla, realistically.
Yeah, that's right. There's not.
Most of the weight is the battery,
Yeah, and so they're doing weight reduction as much as they can, and then racing drag cars, but illegal street races. It's huge over there in the States, and these things are beating blown Mustangs.
Yep.
You know, like if you can't see the fun in that, then you're not a proper rev head. Like, it doesn't matter where the RPMs are coming from.
Yeah.
As long as you're moving that fast and it feels like you're flying.
The idea in any motorsport is to go quicker.
That's right.
Doesn't matter how you go quicker as long as it's not illegal. Doesn't matter how you go quicker.
Yep.
So, yeah, next story. Hey, we're mixing them all up today.
We are. These are the best shows, though.
Yes.
Someone mailed an AirTag to themselves to see if they could track its route. You'll never guess what happened next. iMore reports Apple AirTag item tracker is now on sale, and people are already putting them through their paces. But just how accurate is the tracking capacity of this little bit of plastic? That's something Dutch YouTuber AirTag Alex wanted to find out. So they mailed an AirTag to themselves and watched it work its way through the Dutch mail service. Turns out, with the expectation of a couple of...
The exception.
Oh, sorry. The exception of a couple of errant reports, AirTag tracking actually works. Who knew? Right? Like,
yeah.
I don't know why they're doubting this technology here. Like, Apple wouldn't have put it out if it didn't work.
No.
So
they spent over 2 years getting it to work properly. So
I know, and the rumors before that as well. Like, so check out the video and see for yourself. It's in English, so no worries there. Using iPhones as a sort of mesh network AirTag should be more accurate than what's that one? Competing products from the likes of Tile, and this test suggests that that's indeed the case. I'd love to know
with a tile.
Yeah.
Other tile people tell you where your tile is, but the number of people that have actually got the Tile app running when they're not trying to find their tile isn't as, like, it is a lot, but it's nowhere near the number of iPhones that are just walking around not caring what day it is.
Yeah. So we'd really like to know what caused the AirTag to get confused. It was only once or twice. But that could simply be, sort of early find my sort of, problems.
Yeah.
So, we'll know more when AirTag Alex posts the AirTag to another country, as he promises to do. This would be really cool. So there's a link in the videos, as always. Check this stuff out. It's really cool.
Yep.
I watched the video. It's awesome. It's really interesting.
Yeah.
I really like it.
Sets the Mac up to look for the AirTag every 5 minutes.
Yep.
And it's cool. And like, yes, I've got some AirTag. One is at home. I'm driving home yesterday. I thought, I wonder where that AirTag is, because I didn't know whether Karen had it in a bag or whether it was at home.
Yep.
And it was at home, but it told me the exact address where it was.
That's excellent.
Just by going in and going, where's my AirTag? And it went, I'm at home now, right here.
Yeah.
And neither of us were anywhere near it.
That's excellent.
Yes. Facebook and Instagram have already begun to test Apple's patience with new practices. Pocket Now reports Facebook is trying to goad users into accepting and tracking by telling them that it's essential to keeping the app free. Apple released iOS 14.5 last week, introducing a host of features such as new Siri voices, unlocking an iPhone with your Apple Watch, and AirTag support. Sorry, everybody. Anyway, however, one change in particular will have the biggest impact was the arrival of App Tracking Transparency Framework, which has far-reaching implications for user privacy and how developers pitch ads. Facebook was not happy about it and has now started showing a notification to users that Apple might not take very kindly to. Spotted first by reporter Ashkan Sultani. Anyway, Facebook and Instagram apps for iOS have started showing a prompt that tells users to accept ad tracking because that's what keeps the app free. Now, the message appears on the prompt notification where Apple allows developers to explain why they want to track their activity across apps and websites. Now, this is necessary because apps now have to explicitly ask users for their permission to collect identifying data for showing them targeted ads. Of course, users can choose to reject it, and that will be the end of the story. Now, a scare tactic that might backfire on Facebook is calling for prompt educational screen. Facebook is calling the prompt educational screen, in case you were wondering. However, telling users that this tracking is necessary for keeping Facebook and Instagram free is nothing short of a scare tactic into making users believe they might possibly have to pay for using these services if they choose to disable ad tracking. Apple clearly mentions on the support page that the system prompt must explain why a developer would like to track users. Scaring them into believing that their days of using Facebook and Instagram for free are numbered is definitely not a good move. Also because it could also land Facebook in a regulatory pickle over misleading advertising. Until 2019, Facebook used to openly advertise that it is and will always be free. Of course, the company later removed that line quietly from its advertising campaign, while CEO Mark Zuckerberg also hinted at the possibility of a paid version of Facebook. But what about users who signed up for Facebook primarily due to the allure of the service being free forever? His excuse was, because we can show you 400 million ads, whether you like it or not. And now you can make a choice whether you like it or not. Yeah. Now, I've got another story that's...
I don't know why we're putting up with the garbage. Like, seriously, why can't somebody make a platform that's the same for free? Like, does he not have enough money?
It does cost money to run, right?
Yeah.
But I'm sure there are proper ways to do advertising, for example, that anyone around the world would participate in.
Sorry,
You're still working properly.
Yeah, no, I am, but it's telling me that the battery's about to die.
Okay.
And it just won't charge. I've found the issue.
Don't electrocute yourself.
Voila, I'm back.
Excellent.
It just got brighter and everything. It was on my battery saver mode.
Now, Apple reports second quarter results. Now, this is a stunning quarter. When you think people have been, not everyone's even back at work in America, for example.
That's right.
Right, which is Apple's biggest partner. But also in China, for example, Apple's caught back up to number one, I believe they're number one phone seller again, overtaking Huawei again. Now, revenue, so this is March on March quarters. So this is January, February, March is the quarter, right? I think that's right. Now, revenue up 54% to a new March quarter record. Services and Mac revenue reach new all-time high. Now, put this into perspective. Apple's best quarters are holiday quarters. You know, like that October, November, December quarter.
Yep.
Because people are buying presents for themselves, buying presents for others over that period. Yep. So the best quarter they've ever had was holiday 2020, up one. Then holiday 2019. And then this quarter, which is not a holiday quarter. So it's the third
Yeah.
best quarter they've ever had.
Yeah.
Now, Apple announced financial results for its fiscal 2020 second quarter, ended March 27. The company posted a record revenue of $89.6 billion, up 54% year over year, and quarterly earnings of $1.40 a share. International sales accounted for 67% of the quarter's revenue. This quarter reflects both the enduring ways our products have helped our users meet this moment in their own lives, as well as the optimism consumers seem to feel about better days ahead for all of us, said Tim Cook, Apple CEO. Apple is in a period of sweeping innovation across our product lineup, and we're keeping focus on how we can help our teams and the communities where we work emerge from the pandemic into a better world. That certainly begins with products like the all-new iMac and iPad Pro, but extends to efforts like the 8 gigawatts of new clean energy will help bring into the grid and our $430 billion investment in the United States over the next 5 years. We are proud of our March quarter, which will include revenue records in each of our geographic segments and a strong double-digit growth in our product categories, driving our installed base of active devices to an all-time high, said Luca Maestri, Apple's Chief Financial Officer. The results allowed us to generate an operating cash flow of $24 billion and return nearly $23 billion to shareholders during the quarter. We're confident in our future and continue to make significant investments to support our long-term plans and enrich our customers' lives. They declared a cash dividend of 22 cents per share of this common stock, an increase of 7%, and the dividend is payable, blah, 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 blah. They also said that they're going to put another $90 billion towards their existing share repurchase program. So they're trying to buy back all their shares. So then they don't have to worry about doing any reporting at all. They can, if they can get all their shares back, they don't have to.
That's right.
Yeah, so that's stunning how much money they made. Now, for example, the iPad quarter was also it's a record they haven't had since the iPad came out, because they had some really good ones where the iPad people bought that iPad and then bought the next one and etc.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's like stunning quarters for the iPads. Like
yeah. I'd say the new iPads are amazing too. Like I want one later. It'd just be so great for what I do.
Yeah.
So I just think it's phenomenal. So anyway, I've gone on about it for ages.
Do you want to do that last one? How to update the AirPods? Yeah.
Yep. So how to update your AirPods. Mac World UK helps us to keep these audio. What's that word?
Accoutrements
in tip-top condition. You'll want to ensure that their software stays up to date, but doing this isn't as obvious as it may seem. So here's a quick guide how to update your AirPods. How to update your AirPods on iPhone. One of the reasons it can be hard to know what to do when updating AirPods is the process is all handled automatically in the background. There are a few things you need to ensure though. If you want to keep your AirPods on the latest software version, place the AirPods in their charging case. Ensure the charging case is receiving power. Position your iOS device that's linked to the AirPods next to the charging case. 4, leave them there for 10 or 15 minutes. Now, your AirPods should automatically update the software paired by your iPhone. If you don't want to be without either or any for any length of time, you can just do this when you're going to bed, which I'm now going to do tonight.
It just doesn't take very long.
So if you do this while you go to bed,
Basically, it just
told me.
sucks the data down into your phone, and the phone pushes it across to your AirPods.
I was just saying that I'll do this when I go to bed, and my iPhone came up and told me that my AirPods had 20%. So there you go. So they're close enough. I know that much. So it was easy. So you do it when you go to bed. Like I said, I'm going to do it tonight. Just to make sure mine are updated because I use them all the time.
Yep.
And yeah.
No,
without them, I can't do my shows.
So that's it. I haven't got any more.
That's it. Wait, no. What was I going to talk about? It was a TV show. What did I watch? What did I watch? No, I can't remember.
The year the Earth changed. We watched that the other night. It was great.
Oh, it was good?
Yeah, it was really, really good. Yeah. With David Attenborough and just like there was people that live in India.
Yep.
Like there's a young photographer guy lived in India, and like less than a week after like India closed down.
Yeah.
His dad says, come out and have a look at this. And they go up on the roof. And it's the first time, and like he's 25, it's the first time in his life he's seen the Himalayan mountains because of the smog.
Oh, wow.
Smog's gone, and he's taken photos, these beautiful photos of the Himalayan mountains.
Wow.
Just like that.
It really was the year the world stood still, like.
Yeah.
There was a huge difference, even now. Like, I go out the back, I take the dog out, you go to the toilet before we all go to bed, and you go out the back, and it's so quiet.
Yeah.
And it never used to be. There'd be cars and sirens, especially where you live as well, the traffic around you was just phenomenal. And it's quieting down. It's amazing how we can get around this problem.
Yeah.
I know that it took a pandemic to bring us to where we are.
We've just got to learn from it.
We really do. We really do. I say this. We use our car way too much, but having 3 small children and wanting to do anything, it's hard not to. But I think even the stars, like out here, you're seeing more stars at night. It's magical. And I think if everyone sort of looked up just for a little bit and realised how much damage we didn't do in just 1 year. And I know we're all stuck at home and everything, but we worked our way around it. We're right now using that technology. Where we were doing this in your home studio. We'd only just set the studio up as well. Before that we were in 2 different rooms, and we set that studio up, and we're like, oh, this is going to be great. We can do this in the studio, and it's gonna make a great dynamic. It's going to be so much better. And then the pandemic hit, and we weren't doing it in the studio anymore. And now we're still doing the show right through the pandemic via the internet, and the show hasn't really changed that much.
No.
If at all. And so I think there's definitely ways around it.
Yeah. So the year the Earth changed on Apple TV Plus.
Yeah.
Excellent. It's worth a watch, and hopefully we can learn from it. Please.
I keep doing that with the wrong hand. I apologize.
So.
Yep.
And even just. Well, we're rambling and talking about things
totally different.
Helping the Earth.
Yeah.
We saw the other day, I think it's Breville have come out with a new thing where you put your waste into it.
Yeah.
And it dries it out.
Yeah.
So, you put your scraps off your plate, blah, blah, blah. Put it into this little Breville type oven thing. Dries it all out, makes it safe, and you just take it out and put it on your garden.
I want one. Well,
It's
what
not
are we?
that hard.
What
It's
is
not
it?
that hard. It's amazing.
I know. What is not? What does every home not have one of these already? Like,
Already.
see what
Yeah.
I mean? Like, yeah, this is phenomenal.
So-
There's so much waste. Like that'd save so much waste,
Yep.
and it also encourage people to compost, if not compost, to grow. Their own either plants, vegetables, whatever you want it, whatever you want to grow, flowers, something like that. Because you may think, oh, why grow flowers? Flowers attract bees.
Yep.
Bees keep us
We
alive.
need them. We need them.
Yes. So these are all fantastic ideas, and yeah, I think we need a change. And I'm just one person. And it's just my opinion. But I would love to see that change in my lifetime, and for my children to know that if I'm someday not here, which is inevitable,
Yep.
that they have something magical to pass on to their children. So yeah.
Yep.
That's my inspiring, words of the week. Yeah.
So our show
show notes.
promotion. Don't forget the show notes link each week on the show upload. The link being
AussieMaxZone.com.au /AMZ 380. There you'll find the last 6 weeks of show notes.
Yeah. Also, there's been a problem with the YouTube link there, but that's been fixed. So
Excellent.
it stopped working for a couple of weeks, but now it's all fixed, etc. So, yep. You can email Michael or Zarn at AussieMaxZone.com.au.
That's right. However you listen to us, please rate us. It really helps us. We do this for free because we love you. So
Yes.
give some of that love back and rate us.
Yeah, just
We may not have that's right. We may not have the biggest following, but if our followers could rate us, like us, even if you feel like it, share us. You don't have to, but if you are enjoying what we're saying and in our ridiculous ramblings about nothing most of the time, then please share us, and so other people can be bored senseless.
Yes.
And I know I'm saying all this here bored senseless. I am just making jokes, and we try.
We're very trying.
Yeah, we are very trying.
Thanks to our supporters, you, our listeners. Thank
Yes.
you. And over to Zarn for that sign off.
Thank you, guys. Thank you for tuning in. And remember, an apple a day keeps the androids away. See you later.